Hey everybody, Scroft here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. Welcome back to our small holding series. Hope you're all doing really well. It's going to be a short one today. There's a lot going on, but it's just going to be a short one. It's actually Friday evening for me as I'm recording this. I know this video is going to come out later than that. But yeah, I wanted to get back on the small holding. It's been a difficult week to kind of play on the Bevington Farm series and the small holding series just because I've got loads going on at the moment and try and juggle everything. I'm actually going to Nina's farm tomorrow, which is going to be really interesting. Me and Beanie are looking forward to it. So, yeah, it's been a crazy weekend bringing the farmman back. Did that video for Bullet Bill that released today. What a map that is. Absolutely outstanding. And the fact that that's FS22 and it looks better than what the textures look right now on 25. Yeah, we've been playing that, let's say, wrong for a while because, yeah, I can show you the potential of what it could be like. Who knows what's going to happen with that map, but I was honoured to test myself because that's what I like doing. I like making cinematics. I like showcasing things like that. I do it for Oxy. I've done it for other modders, and I really thrive off it. So, you know, given the opportunity to do that, I'm always going to jump at it, even if the map itself is not available and potentially could never be available. For me, I just want to make videos, and yeah, I know a lot of people put in the comments like, what's the point in showing us this if we can't get it? But it's because we can appreciate art. We don't have to own it to appreciate it. And I enjoyed the creative side for myself of making a cinematic video like that. But fingers crossed, you never know. Things could improve, and yeah, if we can find a way of making sure things change, then I'm sure modders will start dropping stuff like that. But potential's there, and I think that's important to show. But anyway, yeah, steady episode on a Friday evening for me. I've got a busy weekend. I've got no days off. The only day off, really, is going to Nina's farm, which I'll be recording and making content. So it's nice just to get on this and do a short video. So we've got a few things to talk about, and I think that's mainly going to be the gist of this episode. There's not really much I can do. I've actually got a tractor out doing some contracts because I want to try and recoup some money back. And these are some big contracts because you can see I've got two FT loans on a hard difficulty small holding series. So it's never going to give me the biggest potential to earn money to pay these off. I think contracts, it has to be the best way. So I've got two currently active, but one ongoing, which is the main one. It's massive, but it's a big whack of money, 31,000, and then 42 for baling the field next to it. They're square bales, but we're going to bale them. I've actually used the dealership, found a wrapper because I'm fed up of leasing one out and then using it and then sending it back. I'm going to do the technique of buying one second hand. So I've got the dealer on the search for it. As soon as we get that, we can carry on doing wrapping contracts. So I'm hoping I can get that in the next 110 in-game hours so I can complete that contract. If not, we're going to have to lease one out, aren't we, and just do it that way. But ideally, I want to purchase one second hand. It's a square one and a round one, so it's perfect for us going forward. So that is the plan. We're making money. Got the Ford out in the field in field 23 doing the mowing. He is, well, I feel very sorry for him, put it that way, because for that size equipment, yeah, that is a task and a half. I mean, he's on the second headland, so he's got plenty to do. But yeah, that's a courseplay job. It might need some fuel soon as well. But I'm just not going to ignore it and just leave it going. I might even leave my computer on overnight for that one. But anyway, let's look at this. You've probably already noticed it. I decided, from inspiration from other people that have obviously been playing on this now that I've released it, people have changed this up and done stuff with it. And I saw one person in particular. I actually have not made note of your name. That's my bad. It's just last minute jumping on doing a video. But you change this area and as in feel like I had planning permission, and I love the idea of that. So I've kind of done the same, but I've got nothing in it because obviously I haven't got the money. But when we get the money and we do expand out, this is now our plot of land. So we've got planning permission. The building work can start when we've got money and we know what we're doing. And at the moment, I'm just going to probably use it to put like trailers on. But this is where we're going to build up. This is originally where George's farm was. So I love the idea of expanding out to this section. And even though it looks quite plain now and quite simple, it's not going to be. We'll do something super cool here and build out. I also like the fact that I've got a second exit and entrance to the fields down here. It's a lot quicker just driving up here. So yeah, we'll see what we can do with that, but the potential's there. Right, we're going to talk about the realistic livestock mod because I've done a few things. Some cool things are happening behind the scenes with that. But first, I want to give a big shout out to Dark Star Simulation. He made this sign for me. Well, this is like a decal, so a defuse or just a PNG file, basically. He sent me this and said, listen, I've done this for you. I'm using it on yours. I've replaced yours on your gates, which I actually quite like, so I didn't want to replace them. This one here, because this one, I like the kind of wood vibe to it, and that one looks a little bit more rustic, but I also really like it. I actually think that it's pretty impressive. So I decided to put it on the house, and I just wanted to give a shout out to Dark Star Simulation for sending me that, for one. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And yeah, it's gone on the house. I think it's a good spot for it. I mean, I would put it on the gates, but I think it's a bit too rustic. And I know it's probably realistic as well. It's realistically rustic, but yeah, I'm kind of liking that kind of wooden old school vibe than the man. This is kind of weathered galore vibe, but I like it a lot, and I've decided to just put it on the house. So thank you for that. But yeah, super cool. So thanks. Right, so let's talk about the realistic livestock mod because we've got a lot going on. Heavily, focusing on these kind of mods now, going through all my series. It'd be silly not to. It's exactly what I've been asking for quite some time, and I'm really enjoying the fact that Arrow keeps switching things up. He's got loads of things in the woodwork. I've already announced the stuff that he told me. I felt very lucky that I've been talking to him in Discord. And also, I've noticed as well, some of the... it's super cool, this is, but some of the stuff I've been doing in my own, like, say, personal edits, where I've been increasing the feed, the same suggestions have been made to him, and he's done that. So he's doing the things that I kind of wish for, and he's doing it so quick. He works rapidly. So we've now got, in the settings menu, a bit like what we got for the realistic weather mod, but we've now got it for this realistic livestock mod. And you can see it's only a small section, but it's nice to have these game settings, these sliders, where we can customize it. And again, this is reset. This keeps resetting for me, and I have no clue why. Like, I'm trying to figure out what would make that reset so often. Weird one. Definitely a weird one. So, moisture gain, was it, let's see, 110. Moisture loss, 90, I think. This one really does need to be quite high. I've also changed it still because I was doing some tedding and I was struggling. But to be honest, if you do it in the heat and high temperature in summer, it's not an issue. My issue was I was doing it in autumn. But I'm going to just lower this down. I want my life to be a lot easier than me struggling over so many days. I want it to be a couple of days and I've dried out in the right weather. But I was doing it in April. I was doing it in autumn and in October time, so I was always going to struggle, which is, it's not the end of the world. Drought, so don't want them on, and the moisture yield factor I keep to 100. It's a bit difficult to kind of judge that at the moment with precision farming being what it is. So I'm just leaving that at 100, but they're my actual settings. I don't know why it keeps resetting. Not sure on that one, but I don't mind. Keep changing them back, it's fine. But anyway, let's have a look at this. So the realistic livestock mod, 2 things that I actually did have been added in, which is super cool. Now, I know I've been talking to Arrow, like I mentioned, so it could be the fact that I've mentioned these things and he's put them in. If it is, thank you so much, Arrow. It helps out a lot, but also I'm hopeful a lot of players agree that these are good things to have in as settings. So the accidental chance, I was finding personally that a lot of my animals were dying by accidents, more than I'd like. I mean, I'm running a small holding and I've got, maybe 6, 7 cows at one point, and then 2 of them died over the space of 3 days, let's say, in a 5-day month or a 4-day month. So yeah, almost within 3 months, you're going to have no animals left at that rate. So I don't know why that was. I don't know if it just needed a few tweaks. And I know he has tweaked that, but he also put in the animal removal option, which I've kept it on because it does say animals will be removed due to pregnancy, health, age, or accidents. Now, I don't mind the pregnancy, health, and age, but the accidents is where I was having the issue. But this is why this slider here is perfect, because then it'll give you the accident chance. What is the likelihood of animals being removed due to random accidents? And I've just put that down to 0. So I keep the pregnancy, health, and age is a reason for me to lose my animals, which I don't mind. But the random things that I can't control, I want to take out because, if I had say I had 100 cows and now that it's been tweaked, it might work much better. But I don't want to take a risk with me having like 6, and I'm just starting to build up my herd and get the right kind of quality stock to breed out with. I don't want to take a chance because imagine if I just spent that money on a bull and it's the perfect kind of genetics and then it just goes and has a random accident and dies. I'll be gutted. So I'm just removing that out. The food scale I changed because I wanted to try and get the mod more in line with what we're used to with Maize Plus. If you've played Maize Plus in 22, you'll know the feed consumption was more realistic. It was higher. A lot of players will probably agree with this because what I found, and I've also seen a few comments from other people, where they make all this grass, hay, silage, whatever, and we never get a chance to use it all to feed our animals. In fact, we're selling probably 50% at the very least of it because we can't consume it. So I was increasing the food consumption by a factor of 3, so times 3 basically, in the Lua file. I mentioned that, and a few other people actually mentioned it to Arrow on GitHub, so he's put in a food scale. So this is basically to change the amount of food eaten by animals. So I've put it to 400%, which is technically like quadrupled. We've quadrupled what's being consumed. Now, I've checked it out, and I don't know if it's... I'm hoping it's working, but I expect it to be a little bit more. That could just because... it might just be because at the age of the animals, I haven't got much, but I don't know. But I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm not going to change it like I would do myself in the Lua file. I'm going to test it properly. I think that's the best way to do it. Take the mod, put it to 100%, do 1 day, calculate the feed loss, and then do it to 400 and do 1 day, and calculate the feed loss, whilst turning the save game off, whilst turning like autosave off, and then coming back to it after, just to confirm that it is working. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've got running as in the moment. I want to make feed, and I want it to just last out, or I want to feel like, no, I need more feed. If I want more animals, I need more feed. I don't want to keep having this influx of feed that I don't need to actually use, because it almost makes me feel like, why am I doing all this hay? Why am I doing all this silage? Are we selling it for profit, or are we trying to feed animals? Are we trying to do the main reason usually you make feed, which is, for your animals? So I love the idea of that. It can go up to 500%, but I've got it at 400. So there we go. That's pretty much all the settings with them. But let's have a look at our animals. We've got a few small changes from the last time I was on. I've named them all. I've got them all named out, and I've done a few little extra things. But let's focus on a sheep. So the way I'm naming them is Scroft, Wool, 001, and so on, and then female or male. But mainly if the male, then they're going to be a bull, unless I've bred out. Like the reason I was doing the female is because if it's a male, I might want to keep it for wool, but also for meat. So I'm not going to say it's a breeding bull, which is why I've got here SRAM 001 male. So if it is for wool, it'll have SW 0010, for example, male. That's the way I'm doing it. I've also started putting stars at the end of them if they're super, like if they've got a really good genetics, because I want to know that they are some really good, stock. I want to look after them the best, and if I lose one of them, then I'm going to know that's going to hit hard. Same with the goats. I renamed the goats. You've got Scroft goat, basically, because they're only ever going to be for milk. There's not really two options with it. Whereas I know we could do beef, and I know we could do lambs for meat, and we could do lambs to breed out wool. So I've just called them wool just to make things easier. But yeah, we've got Scroft goat 001, 2 and 3 females, stars at the end if they're going any got good genetics. And then my billy goat, which is the one that's breeding out, which is weird because it's 12 months old, but it's stuck on this picture as if it was young, but it's not. So it's a weird one. But we've got some super cool things going on with the breeding. So let's have a look through the sheep first. You can see that this one's pregnant. It's expecting 3 lambs, 3 of them, which is going to be interesting. There's a few of them like this, even a few cows that have got 3 calves coming. So that's like, I expect the chance of it dying in pregnancy is higher if it's got 3. So we'll have to see what happens. I'll have to keep a close eye on it. It'd be really good because I know that Arrow is actually working on adding diseases and also like vets and stuff like that to this mod. So imagine for example, I don't know this for certain, but imagine your animal's lame, and random things like that can happen where the animal's lame, it needs a block, you have to pay a small fee, or it's got a calcium deficiency because you've been milking it and it's just had a cough or whatever, things like that. Dermy could have dermatitis, or it could even have it could have mastitis if it's been milking, and that happens occasionally, so you have to keep an eye out for that. So they could all include a vet bill that you have to do to look after the animal. But maybe if like it's got 3 calves expected, there's something you can do to pay a vet bill to come out to just kind of boost it and reduce the chance of it dying at birth. That could be an option. So yeah, I love the idea of that. We'll see where it goes, but it's worth keeping in mind. Three calves is a lot. But no, this one, if we go to the top one, that one's pregnant. This one is recovering from its last birth, so it's not pregnant. This one is also pregnant. It's expecting 2 babies. This one's pregnant with 3 lambs. 1 lamb, 3 lambs, and again. And then this one's not pregnant, but it's too young. So it needs to be over 8 months. So basically, if it's 9 months, it can start. It says 8 months or less. So we're 2 months off that being able to be served by the ram. This one's also pregnant. We've got 1 lamb, and then we've got a billy goat here that's going to be servicing these 3. Sorry, that one's also a sheep for wool, and that's got 3 babies. So this one is recovering from last birth. That one's pregnant. It's going to have a kid, and then that one's also pregnant and going to have a kid. So pretty cool, to be honest. Let's have a look at our beef stock then, because this one's obviously our breeding bull. It's at 12 months. We've got that one's not pregnant. That one's got 3 calves coming in. It's a star as well, so that's good, because if we have the 3 calves, we've bred out some pretty decent stock there. I wonder if this one's got a star. Yeah, it has. So that's even better, because yeah, that one's obviously having 3 calves from 2 starred animals, which should mean that its offspring are going to be really good genetic wise. We got 1 there, 1 there. That's too young. This one's also too young. The Angus is also in calf, and that one's in calf. It's got 3. So we are breeding out massively at the moment. We've got a good influx coming, so I'm not going to buy any more animals. I'm happy with my stock. It's just about increasing the numbers now. The only issue I have got is my milkers. There's only 1 star because there wasn't as much on offer. So this one's a star, which is important because it's my bull. And then I'd say 005, which has actually got 3 calves, is the only one that's going to be like the combination of having the perfect stock that's coming off it. But they're not bad. They're all pretty decent. And you can see that this one's not pregnant. That one is pregnant with 3. This one's not. This one's not. That one's too young. And that one's too young. Now, this bull only just turned 12 months. So the reason that majority of them are not in calf is because it's just got to the age where it can start breeding out. So the bull can get to work now, basically. And we'll see what happens. Be interesting to know, like, is it going to be a mixed bag? Because we've got a brown Swiss and Holstein. Is it going to be a mixed bag of some Holstein, some brown Swiss? Be interesting to see what happens there. So yeah, that is pretty much that. If we go to our tab to buy the animals, you can see there's a lot more information here, as always. This has now been sorted out. It was showing like information for horses, but that's been fixed. But you might get a bit more information. So we've got it's impregnated. It's got 3 calves, impregnatable animals, 3. So you can even see like this now, because the bull, how many animals can it serve? Well, it's 3. So 3 are available right now. And then it tells you like if it's lactating. Yeah, you can even says here, this is what I really like. So we've only got 1 that's in, this is the one that's the star that's got 3 calves. It can tell me that it's the 26th of June, 2028 that it's expecting. Now, I think it starts in 24, but we're on 23, we're year 3. So really that'd be 25, 26, 27. So next year, so next June, basically. We're in August now, so next June that one should have its 3 calves. I know it's a lot more in depth, but this is the way I want to play the game. And you can see, look at that for stock. That's brilliant stock. And then the same with this one. It's even better. We've got some extremely highs there, whereas these are just all very high, and the overall's very good, which kind of doesn't make sense, because if it's all very high, then that one should be very high. I don't know. That's very good, even though this is extremely high, and very high. So really, very high is probably the overall. But I'm not bothered. But you can see that these are just a little bit lower, like that especially. That's one that I would probably get rid of. Yeah, I'd probably get rid of just that, number 4, and try and improve on that. So let's go down to here, because I did put some TMR in, just because I didn't know how quick the food was going to get consumed, and the meadowgrass didn't actually activate. But these are doing these are doing actually really well. We've got a lot in calf. We've got, again, that one's expected in May. That's expected in May. So these are serviced a lot quicker. May, it's pretty much May. There's got a couple in June there as well. But we've got a lot of calves coming in our breeding stock for meat, and that's obviously really important, because hopefully the price of them, when they get to the right point, it's going to take some time, because we've got to get our calves out, and then we've got to fatten them up and get them to probably about 2 years old. I'd say, say about 2 years old. Maybe like 18 months, 24 months, something like that, before we take them to market to sell. So there's a lot of time that's got to pass for the bulls, for the beef stock. But the sheep, we'll just keep breeding them out. We've got goats that we'll just keep breeding out. We'll keep making wool. We'll keep doing the goat milk. But at some point, I will probably, sell the young stock lambs at maybe about 10 months, something like that. And 9 months, 10 months, and we'll go and sell them, make a bit of money off them that way. Let's see how he's getting on. He's getting on, that's all we'll say. He is getting on. But no, I am going to probably leave him going. There's not much for me to do. I've got one tractor free. I could go and spread some muck in here, but because I'm using precision farming, the nitrogen's actually just perfect. It's actually too much, just because I set, it's the transition coming over to it, putting fertilizer down. It's actually at 90, whereas it only needs to be 55 kilograms per hectare of nitrogen. So really, this field doesn't need anything. I could plough the other one, but I do want to try and get a third cut. With the feed consumption going up, I do want to try and get as much as possible. So when it's ready for the next cut, I will cut both fields, and then I'll plough in that other one and plant in grass seeds, and then we can get the information from it for precision farming. But that's how many silage bales we got. We have got a few spare that I was going to sell, but I will keep them now. I did bring the hay out of the rain and put it in here, so that still needs stacking away. And if we jump up to the harvester over here, you can see I've actually got quite a lot of hay bales. I'm quite happy with that. So we need more silage. We definitely need more silage. If we have a look in our stock check, we should be able to see we've got one bale of grass somewhere. I don't know where that is. Tag place? What? This is the weirdest thing ever. Wait a minute, why have I got a grass bale all the way over here? Oh, wait a minute, there we go. Oh, wait a minute, I've got this wrong answer. So it just says we've got a 3,500 litre grass bale somewhere. Maybe it's not fermented. I don't know. That's a weird one. It doesn't matter. Anyway, it really doesn't matter anyway. We've got 100,000 litres of hay and 66,000 litres of silage. So we definitely have got more hay. So we need to make some silage on that third cut. And if we have a look over here, we've pretty much got... I know I could, I've seen people saying, you could just, chop in... Because obviously I own the middle of the map. There's spots in there where you can chop. And if we just go to farmlands, you can see that, for example, this section up here, you could chop that. I mean, there's also this section here in the woodland area that I could chop, but I don't even know. I've never actually been in there, but you might be able to. Oh, there's definitely this section, all this area here. So you could do do I own 46? No, I don't own 46, but I own the sides of it. But this section here I own in the centre. So you could do something there potentially. Definitely up by the store at the back, because that's actually a big patch of grass. Like, look at that. That is a massive patch of grass. I could chop all that, but I'm not going to, because I feel like I'm cheating a little bit there, so I can't do that. It's weird how that's withered, but the rest hasn't. So yeah, the third cut's important, and I'll get this done and the other one done before I even think about, you know, ploughing this off. But I do want to get the information on this eventually. God, is that on moisture then? I thought it was like 1%. Surely we've got a better moisture than that currently. Let's refresh. What's the average? Yes, the moistures are quite low at the moment on most of them. And there you go. We got 4 bales down here as extra. We are going to keep that, and we're going to add 2, and we'll find somewhere to stack them up a little bit better. Probably, we could put them around the side still. Hay's definitely got to be shifted over there, though. I mean, we could just put grass bales there for the meantime. And I do need to drive back that. So yeah, plenty of little things to do. But I didn't want the video to be too long, just because, you know, I've got to edit it, I've got to get up early, so on. So I think just a steady video. And then eventually, next week basically, things are going to be a little bit easier for me, and I can properly play on the Bevington farm and this. And yeah, just carry on as normal. So yeah, looking forward to that, just to chill a bit more and play the game. I've also done a few things which I will show you, but I don't know if you've noticed the lighting. I've changed the lighting in the environmental XML. Tried to go more to like what it looked like a bit more on 22. I actually like it. I think it looks better. It's more bright, but it does look better. And if we go to the grass, the cut grass ground texture, I know you can't see it very well because there's grass down, but I chopped it. That's the texture there. This one here, that kind of yellow. So I made the ground texture and the grass when it's been cut a little bit more yellow. And I actually prefer it a lot than what it is currently. So I was messing about with things like that just to try and get it looking pretty, yeah, just get it looking spot on. But I think I'm going to leave the video there. I'm going to leave him going. Hopefully the store can get me that bale wrapper. Yeah, I'll probably just leave it going, see how it gets on with that, and then hopefully skip into the next in-game day and have the bale wrap on offer, buy it, and then I can get the bale wrapping done. And then in the next episode, we can probably skip forward into potentially September. I think the next time we're going to be cutting grass, if that's the growth stage 1, because it's not currently ready to... Yeah, it's still dark, so we're not going to be doing that till probably October. But we have got some soybeans that are also going to be ready to harvest in October. So potentially the next episode could be October time, when hopefully I've paid off a good 80,000 potentially to this loan, paid off that completely, and then paid off a bit onto this one. And we'll also be, and we can either make some silage or we can get the harvest done. Then that's probably the best bet. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think I should put here and how I should do it. Like, what would the farm benefit from? We've got a cow shed. Should we get another one for our beef stock? Because, you know, they're going to be out all year because we've got nowhere to put them. Is that too small for just one shed? Should we get a little bit of a bigger shed? As long as we stick to the same rules, which is it's a small holding, don't go over 150 horsepower, I'm quite content and happy. But I would get maybe another cow shed here that's got a bit more space in it, put the dairy stock in here, and maybe have that as the beef shed. Could be an option. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think. And yeah, we'll work towards getting the money and getting it built. It might be one of them where we pay off the loan now and then take out like a finance and take out a loan to simulate doing the work and then eventually paying it off over time. I think that's probably more realistic to do anyway. But as long as we pay off our loan now, because it's been stacked up and it's got too high, and we need to sort that out. So thank you so much for watching. I know, a bit of a strange one, not much farming going on, bit of an update, but just giving you an update on the series, where we're at with it. We are going to carry on with it. Next week's going to be better. There'll be definitely an episode on the series and also on Bevington Farm as well. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. See you, everybody.